Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Kim Inside doing another segment of Victory Sundays. On Victory Sundays, I like to just talk about football, basketball, even hockey. Because if you know anything about me, I love sports. And this is an opportunity for me to give y'all the most raw and uncut filter version of me. And speaking of Victory Sundays, on today's segment of Victory Sundays, I just want to talk about if you've been living underneath a rock lately, Stephon Diggs, yes, the Stephon Diggs, who was dating Cardi B himself, he was found not guilty for allegedly putting hands on his personal chef. Now, some of the details go as this. He was actually accused on a very special day. If you don't know what that special day is, it's actually my birthday. December 2nd, he was actually accused, I believe, of strangulation of his personal chef. Now, some details about this personal chef. This wasn't just your normal personal chef. Now they say in the year 2022, which was still a good year, he actually like they were seeing each other and they was actually dating. So that just kind of pretty much to tell you like this is something different. It's not just your regular personal chef, but pretty much like this, like I said, they was pretty much dating. He flew out and was like, yo, you can stay tonight. You can just living for a table with a brother. You feel me? But yeah, like I said, he was just pretty much he flew out, let her stay with him, and he was pretty much just let her cook for him and stuff like that. Giving it like I think like $2,000 a week or something like that. So pretty much just fast forwarding things. I guess it just went sour from what I was reading and stuff like that. And they said like eventually like he just stopped paying her. And then in the midst of stop paying her, I guess like when he offered to pay her, like she just didn't want to take the payment and things just went left. And so eventually, like, she accused him of, like I said, putting his hands on her and stuff like that. And so fast forward, and so like witnesses and stuff took the stand and stuff like that. And they said like when she accused him, like she just seemed normal. She seemed all willy nilly and was just in good spirits and good vibes, and then had no bruising or anything like that. And so like basically, like they had no evidence and no proof. And then when she took the stand, like she just seemed like she was not interested in. She was out of straw. And she said a comment. I forgot what the comment said, but she said something for breath, and you could just tell like she just seemed ill prepared. So pretty much, like I said, the boy was found not guilty, which I think was the right verdict. Like, hey, yo, you ain't got no proof, shorty. You're gonna take them man to court, show them man. You gotta make sure you be prepared. But it's just crazy how like in situations like this, how people could accuse somebody putting their hands on them, but they don't have no proof, and it just spoils his reputation because some people believe that Stephon Diggs was actually like this is actually like backfiring on his career because he got released by the Patriots and he hasn't found the team yet. So hopefully Stephon Diggs found a new team. On to another note, like I said, been living out here rock lately. Orlando Magic fired Jamal Mosley. 5 years for the Orlando Magic head basketball coach. Now his 5 years, he actually took the Orlando Magic to the playoffs the past 3 years. He has a record of 189 to 221. Like before he was coach before the Magic had Jamal Mosley, they was butt cheeks ass. And even when they had Pablo Barrechero, it took them times to grow, but the team actually got better. But like they say, like as a coach, sometimes you kind of know when your time is up. I even know sometimes, like hell, when I was a coach, and I was like, man, like yeah, shit don't seem eerie, it seemed kind of eerie feeling, and that was pretty much what was going on. Like even like this year, like they spent a lot of money, and that's kind of a sign saying like, hey, we spent all this money, y'all better get this shit done. But it didn't happen, and like one of the reasons why is because if you don't know anything about basketball, like Orlando Magic never seemed to put it together because one of the reasons why, because it seemed like the players never play together. Pause. It seemed like they always had some type of mysterious injuries, and even like in this playoffs, when they was in the play in, like they got thrashed by Philly, but then they did a thrasher to the Hornets, who I was rooting for, but it seemed like he could possibly save his job. And then in the first round of the playoffs, even though they came in as an AC, like man, they was beating the hell out of the Pistons up until Franz Wagner got injured, and that just seemed like the picture for pretty much most of his time tenure there. Like Franz Wagner got injured, they was up 3-1, and next thing you know, after that, they end up losing the series, and then he ended up losing his job. But yeah, man, it just seemed like they just always catch that bad luck with an injury bug. Because I think honestly, if you look at the series when they was playing against the Pistons, being real with you, I think they could have won that series if Franz Wagner didn't get injured. And I think he actually probably would have kept his job if he didn't get injured because there's no way in hell you can tell me that they didn't have a chance against the Cavs because we know playoff James is gonna come out his way and put on his cape and shit. You never know. He probably would have put on his cape against the Orlando Magic because he damn sure doing it against the Pistons. On to the last note. If you've been living up to the Rock lately, in the NBA, yo, it has been the crazy off the court. Like we talk about on the court stuff. It actually been some stuff going on crazy recently off the court. First of all, damn, what's his name? Brown of the Celtics. When they lost 3-1, I said Brown, but you know what I'm talking about. If you've been leaving him right, I know his name. But yeah, he went on his online Skype or whatever on his online streaming services, which he normally do, like they say after every game. He was pretty much talking about the game itself, how like the series itself, how pretty much how Joel Embiid flops, which in my opinion, like that's becoming a normal basketball move. So like it don't surprise me that he flops. Everybody flops in the NBA. But then he also said that last year it was his favorite year, and like I think a lot of people took that personal. Me myself, I don't take it personal, and I didn't get too mad about it when you think about it, because when you honestly look at it, like that year kind of reminds me of just like how Pittman played this season without Jordan, and even though like they didn't win a chip, he actually like it seemed like he had his most fun just doing that because everybody wanted to be that top dog and show that he could do it, and he pretty much did prove that, and he was just like in the MVP voting and getting all his props. Pretty much that was it, and like, but even like Tracy McGrady, who got a good relationship with him, he was saying like, yo, like he not feeling things that the Celtics can now. Like they saying he possibly could be in trade talk. But I don't disagree with none of the things he said. I just think the timing was a little bit off for like what he said. Like, yo, that part probably could have said that a little bit later, because being honest with you, I can relate to it. Like my favorite year as as being a coach wasn't necessarily my championship year. It was actually like my first season coach. But also, if you've been living on the rock lately, Draymond Green, like we're talking about off the court basketball news some more, and this is the last one, off the court basketball news. But Draymond Green been going at it back and forth with Chuck, and he also been going at it back and forth with Austin Reeves. Now with the Chuck situation, Chuck just pretty much said on that NBA Countdown joint. If you don't know, that's a good ass TV show. That's one of my favorite ones. But it was like, yo, y'all getting older. It seemed like y'all gonna be able to compete for championships. And then Draymond Green just pretty much said like, yo, I love to see, pretty much how I think. Like I hate to be like, how you was with Houston Rockets, which was kind of a low blow. And it's just like, yo, he's an all star. He was great. Like, I mean, like shit, I think he still did do good with the Houston Rockets. I don't know. But then he also, like, he said something about when he made the statement about Steve Kerr, he was like, yo, yeah, I had a great career, but I don't know if like Steve Kerr would have hindered me from, having a better career, which I think like a lot of guys, they kind of feel like, yo, sometimes they coach holding them back. So I can't really get too mad at the statement, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's how some people feel. But also when Austin Reeves made his statements, Draymond Green, he double backed on him. He was just like, yo, you was the number one player and I still had a better NBA career. They're summing it up. And Austin Reeves, he pretty much saying like, dog, like you was blessed with like some of the top players in the NBA. Of course, you're gonna have a better NBA career than me. And like, I don't disagree with neither one take. Like, yeah, Draymond Green overperformed in his NBA career, but Austin Reeves, he did. He was cold. So I'm just gonna leave it as that. Like, just because I'm pressed with time and I got to post this show TikTok. But yeah, like I said, yeah, man, that's just it with Victory Sunday, and I'm out this bitch.